Are your wiper blades chattering, skipping, or squeaking? Well, if you purchase new wiper blades from O'Reilly Auto Parts, they'll install them for free. See better and drive safer with O'Reilly Auto Parts. Stop by today or learn more at O'ReillyAuto.com. We appreciate O'Reilly Auto Parts sponsoring the O'Reilly Auto Parts Pit Reporters, along with Jim Utter from Motorsport.com, Kim Coon from NBC, Brett McMillan, glad to have you with us. Well, we appreciate Denny Hamlin going on his podcast this week and, and notifying everybody that he put Ross Chastain in the wall on purpose.
It was not a mistake.
It was not a mistake. And, of course, he's backtracking on it. But that's okay because he's got to understand it when he says it on – well, we don't do tape anymore. But when he says it electronically and it is saved –
it's recorded.
It's recorded forever.
Yeah.
I guess this dates back to last year, and who knows if this is over yet or not in Denny's mind.
I just thought the whole thing was first of all, at the end of the race, there was like a few minutes where people were like, where are Ross Chastain and Denny Hamlin?
Because they were both on my fantasy.
What happened?
The last time I put them together on my fantasy lineup.
I remember making a note of the lineup at the end because and when there's a overtime restart, crazy stuff can happen. So I usually go longer than I usually I usually do out to 10 or 12. And I remember writing their numbers. And then when the race ended, looking at the top 10, I'm like, where did they go?
And then I had to keep scrolling and keep scrolling. Yeah. It was like 20
where did they go?
Something.
And I think I even tweeted something. I think there was an incident between the 11 and the 1. And it turned out that there was. His reasoning, as he gave on his podcast, was interesting, though. I just can't see. You've been in the heat of this race. He had been running fairly well.
Yeah.
He was going to get a good finish. I think he was probably going to finish in the top 10. At least it looked like that at going into the overtime. And then just to sit there and thinking that something happens and if I'm not going to finish this race good, neither is he.
Yeah.
just make that decision and let the wheel go and which is what apparently he decided. But haven't heard anything from Ross Chastain's side, and then for him to declare that it's over, I'm sure Ross thinks that he gets to make that decision,
Well, Kim, I know that, of course, you're not playing fantasy for money.
No.
You're doing it purely for the enjoyment of it.
Yeah.
Oh, doesn't everyone?
But if it costs you
bragging rights.
If it cost you anything, then just send Denny a bill.
I should. I was so angry. To Jim's point, I was watching him. They're both in the top 10. When the final restart happens, I'm like, oh, I'm about to bank some points. And then, the headshots file in as they cross the finish line, and I don't see either of them in the top 10. And I was like, did I miss something? Was there a crash that I missed? And I had to dig deep to find this what seemed very random in my opinion, incident where Denny pushes him into the wall and they're both mired back in the 20-somethingest position. And yeah, Denny, I need to send him a bill.
Yeah. And it was funny
I'm not
too
betting
because
money, but
TV just I don't think TV knew what happened right away. And right before they went off the air, all of a sudden they just put up a screenshot of Denny and Ross, and there was not time for anything else. So that's just how they left it.
I did think, it was interesting. I think Pacras grabbed video of them talking. There was no heat between them. It wasn't a heated exchange.
No.
So, which furthers the point that it looks a little foolish on Denny's end.
Yeah.
Because there was no instigation outside of everything that happened last year. You could make the argument
that... But I did hear, and this is what made me think something happened. I was listening to the officials channel, and they called security to the top, to pit road.
Okay.
During the time of the cool down lap, and cars actually started to get there. So I'm guessing, although I don't know for sure, that they saw that the tower saw what happened and thought, oh, something could go down on pit road. We better have some people down there. But then it turned out that nothing really happened on pit road. So,
well, it's interesting because I was wondering if, the tower even noticed what was going on, because until Denny said something, it seemed to be nobody's talking about it.
Well, I think they noticed that something happened just from that, what I heard about the security, but I don't know that to be true. But obviously there was a replay too that they obviously could have seen. I mean, it wasn't up long, but they did get it on the broadcast before it went off the air.
I hit something. My tire was going down. There are a lot of excuses that could throw it out.
There's a lot of great excuses you can use, except when you tell people that you did it.
Yeah.
Then you kind of take everything else off the table.
Let
Telling
the
you.
air out of the balloon.
Yeah, it's like, oh, craziness. All right, when we come back, Jimmy Johnson's announced a couple more dates that he's going to be running, including one that he has dominated for years. Stay with us.